I think there are a good number of crazy people online, and I think everyone knows when they're reading a comment by a crazy person.
I live in New York City. I live in New York City. I live in New York City. Yeah!
I received a lot of crazy comments, both positive and negative, after the premiere of Poems and Prayers, my third symphony. And after NPR did their big piece on it, I got, hundreds and hundreds of really nice comments from people saying, well, you're engaging the Arab-Israeli conflict in a way that is thought-provoking and beautiful, and you've given us hope. And then one or two comments from people who are like, we're gonna knife you.
There was all different kinds of people and all different kinds of opinions, and I don't come from an academic art world necessarily at all, so I don't really give a whole lot of weight to what is like formally approved and what isn't, and who has a job at the New York Times and who just has their own blog. I don't give a whole lot of weight to things like that necessarily. So I think that it's nice that the internet is available in that way and that lots of people can have a voice.
The body of the aesthetics that we're presenting, traditional critics don't have a sense of them. So they may get theater and they know theater very well, or they know dance very well. But then we kind of introduce these other aesthetics and these elements, and all of a sudden they don't quite know what they're seeing. And oftentimes the reviews are uncomfortable because they're not comfortable writing about it. So there's a disconnect there, and where we see where there's more strength is younger folks who maybe have their own blog where they have 3,000 unique followers. That has more influence and more potency because they're open to what they're seeing.
We take back what must be spoken, what must be heard tonight. We take back the word.
I know that we're essentially just embracing it, you know? I'm not a big fan of running after the New York Times.
It's a good thing and a bad thing in a way. I remember we got a not so great review, and the publications now allow you to comment online. And I haven't yet resorted to lobbying people to go ahead and do it, but a couple of times some people have, responded on our behalf. So that's a good thing, I think. But yeah, you have to be careful.
The blogosphere and online commentary is, of course, a crucial tool for artists to have their work talked about. But of course, there's a way in which there's a lack of accountability that makes for really hurtful discussions. And I also think that there's a snap judgment that occurs. I'm still of the mindset that you should be able to take some time to actually process and digest something, to see what it is that you feel about it, how it fits in the world around it.
You think us colored folk are worth it?
What?
I'm definitely looking towards someone taking the time to turn it over, mull it over.
There are more critics than ever because of blogs and, I guess to some extent Facebook, if you want to call that, criticism. Anyone can start a site and just write about whatever they want, books, TV. Anybody can be a critic. So it's not like, I think there's no accreditation process for it. But what a critic working in a magazine or a newspaper or a journal would has is editorial layers. They have people editing them, fact-checking them. They have people hopefully pushing back and saying, is this really how, I don't know if you're making this argument as strongly as you could.
I think it's really important in that everyone does have a voice, and oftentimes on Twitter people will make comments and I'll just reply to them directly. I'm not really a person who likes to alienate themselves from people. So when I view it that way, it's just kind of fun. It's like a bunch of people scribbling all over a wall, and you can kind of see something. You're like, oh, that's funny. Oh, that's cool. Oh, and we're all kind of a part of the same electronic brain, So, I don't know. Internet's dope.
Yeah. City. I live in New York City. I live in New York City. Yeah.